how to install our battery numbering and racing stripe set. That coming up right after this. So if you just come across this video and you do not have this decal set yet, you can get them on our website, Etsy, or eBay store. Links will be down in the description. We do have them in black, white, burgundy, grabber blue, silver, gold, lime green, orange, red, and yellow. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, my name's Ryan. On this channel we do a lot of tips, tricks, and reviews, mostly drone and photography related. If that's something you're interested in, consider subscribing. It's greatly appreciated. Today we're going to be talking about how to install the battery numbering decal system for the Autel Evo Lite and Lite Plus. So there are three parts to our decals typically. On the front side you have a transfer tape. Underneath that you have the vinyl decal itself that's computer cut, and then you have the backing paper. So what you will do is simply pull off the transfer tape. The transfer tape will lift up the decal and you will remove that backing paper. We'll show that here in a second. So the decal set comes with battery decals number 1, 2, and 3. If you need an additional set, we have those on our website. You can get it in additional 4, 5, 6, and 7, or you can get them individually. If you buy them from our eBay store, just buy 2 sets of the same color and you will get decals 4, 5, 6, and 7, but you will not get the body decals with that second set. So you can see I've already cut these apart. They come in one single sheet. You just need to cut them apart. Just make sure you don't cut any of the colored vinyl graphic itself, and then you'll be ready to start installing. But before you do that, one important thing, you do need to clean the drone with a isopropyl rubbing alcohol is preferred. Don't use anything else. We need to get any oils that are on the drone off so you get good adhesion from the vinyl decal. So now you can use one of these alcohol prep pads if you have any of those, or simply a bottle of rubbing alcohol and a lint-free cloth to wipe those down. I've already done that just for the sake of time. So you do that, you let it dry completely. It's often a good time to go ahead and do it a second time. Let it dry again completely before beginning the installation of the decals. For this demonstration, we'll show you how to install the front decals and the battery decal itself. Obviously, you'll repeat the battery decal installation steps for any additional batteries that you have. So we'll go ahead and start with one of the battery decals. This one's probably the easiest one to line up. Having this one installed is going to help you be able to line up the front decal when it's time to install that. The biggest thing is when you go ahead and remove the backing paper, it's always best to turn this decal upside down, actually on a smooth surface. You just get one of the corners started and you slowly roll this backing paper back. Now here's a good example. You can see that the decal did not stick to that transfer tape, so go ahead and stop before it goes any further. Lay it down flat. Then with your credit card or a squeegee, simply just squeegee that really good. And then when you go ahead and turn it upside down and start rolling that back, 9 times out of 10 it will go ahead and start sticking to that transfer tape. So you simply roll this back at a 180-degree angle. You can see that I'm not lifting up at all. I'm just pulling this straight back. Don't lift up. And roll that transfer tape straight off. Now I'll go ahead and get the drone in here. Now when you go to line up your decal, this one is fairly easy because you're going to line it with the Autel A logo here in the middle, and then you just want to make sure that it is centered before you lay it down. Now you can slowly lay it down and be able to reposition it. You just need to be very careful when you do that. You just want to make sure it's straight. Now before you start using your credit card or squeegee, you're just going to use your finger and right down the middle, just go straight down with it. You're going to do the same thing back and forth all the way down one entire side. Make sure you work out any bubbles or creases. As you get closer to the edge, it will be easier to get little bits of bubbles in there. And once you've rubbed it down with your finger, don't use the squeegee yet. We're going to go ahead and slowly work our way from the center over to the other side. And again, we're just making sure we don't get any bubbles in here, making sure it lays down completely flat. Once we get that, then you can go ahead and take your squeegee or your credit card, and we're again starting with the middle. We're going to squeegee it all the way down to the outside, and then start again in the middle again. Now make sure you don't press so hard that you are bending your carbon fiber arms. If you need to, you can put your hand underneath it to help support it. Now, to remove the transfer tape, we're going to do it much the same way we did the backing paper. We're going to pull it at a 180-degree angle, almost folding it back on itself. So I'll get up here real close so you can see that. And then just like before when you were removing it from the backing paper, if any part of it starts to lift, just lay the transfer tape back over. You can rub it with your finger real good to get it down. But honestly, the Autel does a whole lot better than many of the other drones, just because these decals like to stick so much better. Now you can kind of see, especially with this complex curve that you got going on here, we get a little bump there. Just work that in with your finger. And again, we're continuing pulling back at the 180-degree removal method. All right, and that is on there. All right, now it's time to do the body decals. Much the same way as we did before. You can even start off by barely lightly squeegeeing the top. If you did have issues prior getting the backing paper off, that usually will help. And then we'll just again get a corner started with the decal laying face down. Roll this backing paper off of there at that 180 degrees. All right, now again we need to make sure we align it properly. You kind of got a line to go off of down below. You'll want to do a similar gap right there to match. And if it's not exactly in the right spot, as long as you haven't pushed it down, you should be able to reposition it. Alright, so now we've got it in place. I like the way it looks. Again, starting from the middle, working just with our finger for now all the way to the outside edge. Make sure there aren't any bubbles. And again, as you get closer to this edge, just be a little more careful because of that complex curve on there. And then once we get that side done, work again from the center all the way to the outside edge. And again, be very careful as you get closer to the outside edge. Alright, that went on fairly well. Now that we rubbed it on with our finger, go ahead and take your squeegee or credit card, and we will go ahead and support your drone from the bottom. Make sure you get all the way out to the edges, starting from the middle, working all the way to the edge. Now just make sure you keep your squeegee and your credit card on this transfer tape so you don't scratch your drone with your credit card. Alright, and now that that's all squeegeed, again 180-degree removal method. And roll it all the way back. And it's that easy. Just repeat the steps for your other battery decals if you have more than one battery. It's a good idea to probably let this sit for about 24 hours before you take it out in the elements, especially cold. Heat actually does help activate the adhesive even more, working it into the pores, so you can tell this is a texture on this drone, helps it work even more. You can see that the finish is just really nice on this one. So that's it. If you have any questions, feel free to leave them down in the comments section below. I'd be glad to answer them. Or you can head on over to our website. We have a Facebook Connect page, and you can connect with us through Messenger that way. So that's it. Fly safe, and bye for now.